Hi and welcome to Bonita's Kitchen, and thank you for joining us. Today I'm excited to bring to you a tasty fish loaf. Now today's fish loaf could be made with any type of fish. I'm using, of course, our queen of the ocean, which is our cod, Atlantic codfish, and it's about anywhere from 1 to 2 cups of cooked cod, or cooked fish I should say. I'm going to show you that, tell you more about it as we go. I'm going to be using also some fried fat pork to go with it, and we can substitute that as well. So if this recipe interests you and you'd like to know more about it, stick around and let's get started.
Always an open door. Bonita's kitchen to yours. Bonita's kitchen. Kitchen to yours.
Now with the fat pork, it's optional, of course, and this right here is our pork scrunchions, they would call it, but all it is a salted pork fat. And again, we use it here in Newfoundland and Labrador when we're cooking our fish and brews and we want scrunchions. But because we're making a fish meal, a fish loaf, I wanted to have a few scrunchions in that as well. We're going to be using here 3 small fillets of codfish. I'm going to be putting that into some hot water. This is only actually 3 small pieces. If it was the fillets, it'd be huge. But I'm hoping that it's going to be about 2 cups when it's all cooked. This is going to be partly cooked, I'm going to say, to flake it apart to put into this loaf. So that's half a teaspoonful of sea salt into some water and the cod or fish of choice. I'm going to put it on the stove top. So I got over here 2 cups of stale breadcrumbs, and this could be anywhere from white, whole wheat, whatever we got. I just grate it up when it's stale and put it in my freezer. A tablespoonful of butter, a large onion chopped, 2 eggs, and a teaspoonful of sea salt, less half a teaspoonful for the fish to cook, and a teaspoonful of black pepper, teaspoonful of savoury, summer savoury or dried savoury. Now what we're going to do is fry off this onion. So right here to the fish that I'm cooking, I'm only putting it in there between 5 to 10 minutes, just in the hot water. That water was already boiled in advance just to get this partly cooked. And over here we're going to be tossing in some butter and a little drizzle of the olive oil, and then we're going to be tossing in there the chopped onion. And what I'm trying to do here is just partly cook this just until it's soft, so it's partly cooked as well going into this loaf. And I'm going to season that one as well with some sea salt, and let me reach for it, half a teaspoonful of sea salt and a teaspoonful of the pepper. Okay, so I'm going to be taking this fish out, so I don't want for it to cook too much or to fall apart, because I need that fish. And what we're going to do now is take those onions out and fry up our scrunchions. Okay, I just want to take those onions out there. I don't need them cooked anymore. I don't mind if there's a couple in there. And toss in the fat pork. And again, this fat pork is optional. If you don't have access to any fat pork, or even if you wanted to use pieces of suet, that's just trimmings of beef, you can use that. Or you can just use, a tablespoonful of oil, and that'll replace it, because that's all I'm going to use from the fat pork is a tablespoonful of the oil and the bits of the fat pork. I'm going to let that go to scrunchions, brown bits. So pretty much you're just going to break apart the cod like this, or the fish that you're using, and make sure there's no bones in it. It's got to be deboned and then partly cooked like this, just to go in through that loaf really nice. Take off the grey skin as well, if there's any. I haven't done anything with this fish yet, but it smells absolutely amazing. And the scrunchions, I'm going to show you that a little bit closer. Like I was saying, don't forget to check. Like, this is the silver skin. I'm not keeping that now, unless you're my mother. She's just going to eat that. She just loves it. Oh my gosh, she said that is the best part of the fish. It's got all of your omega oils in there, and she's probably right. It's just I don't.
Yeah, your mother, like, you know, skin off of the fish, or the head.
Oh yeah, cod's head, love
yeah.
it. Now just look at all those brown bits of the fat pork. Again, optional if you don't have access to that, or if you can get some suet meat or suet fat from bits of beef trimmings. I'm only going to be using a tablespoonful of that oil, so if you don't have that, you could use the tablespoonful of oil. I'm going to be using my mixer here today just to blend all of this together. So that's 2 cups of the stale breadcrumbs. I'm going to toss in here now to the bowl. Now this is a lovely quick meal. You know, there's one of these meals that you can come home from work and whip it up and have it ready for your family in no time flat. So again, very tasty. The fried onions. Of course, I like to do a little carameling of those and a little bit of a softening of it before I add it to the mixture. The teaspoonful of savoury, you can use summer savoury, dried savoury, and if you don't have access to savoury, you could use thyme. I'm going to be pouring in there, as you can see, a tablespoonful of that oil, and I'm going to take all of those scrunchions and put in there.
That's going to put the taste on it for sure.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Oh yeah, I can.
Okay, so we're going to have 2 large eggs, and those really is to bind it all together, to get it all ready to go and be that excellent taste that we all want when all this is cooked. So now you're going to toss that in here to your bowl, and all of that delicious fish, flaked fish, whatever type you're using. So this is just to mix it together. We're not going to break it up in any way. It's just rather than do it by hand, or you can do it with a wooden spoon. Alright, so that's all I need to do there. Just a little rough mix in. And now let's put it into our loaf pan. Now I'm only using a small loaf pan here. It's probably, what, 5 by
9 probably.
Yeah. It's not a big. It's one. It's your mom's loaf one that we use for bread and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, you use it to your discretion, and the amounts that I give you here today, you can go more. If you want a bigger loaf, like a bigger fish loaf, you double up on everything, because the science is not in the amount that I'm giving you. It's just this is how much I'm making here right now. It's probably a meal for 2 people, but if you've got a family and you want a bigger loaf, well, you go ahead and make that bigger loaf. More fish, more breadcrumbs. The same amount of egg is fine. 2 eggs would do if you doubled up on the rest. And that's all you need to do there. Now I'm going to tell you how long you need to bake it for.
When you were talking about my mother's that bread pan.
Yeah, I know, right?
I can remember I wasn't very old when she bought them at the little store in Upper Alcove, like, you know, where we're from. And, she was stocked 4 of them, I think it was. Yeah,
well, and they're all, you can see that they got all the burn marks on it, but that giving all that flavour when I'm making my bread, you know, it don't stick. But let's tell you how long to bake this for. Good memories, Raymond.
Oh yes, good.
So what I'm going to do is preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to be popping this loaf pan in the middle rack for about 40 minutes to 1 hour. Pretty much everything in there is cooked. You just want it all to come together and be that perfect little loaf. And then I'll show you what you could use to serve with it or just on its own.
I got a feeling I know what we're going to be having for supper.
Oh yes, absolutely. This will be perfect. Our fish loaf is ready and baked, and just look how delicious it looks. I can't wait to taste it.
And neither can I.
You know, right?
Plate is ready.
Plate is ready. We're going to get going on that now, Raymond.
2 thumbs up.
So good. Now just look at this delicious fish loaf. My gosh, Raymond, it smells amazing, eh? That's savoury and all of those flavours, you know, with the scrunchions and oh my gosh. And just look how golden brown it is. It's just a nice little loaf, and you could make it with whatever type of fish you got. Right now we got the Queen of the Sea here in Newfoundland and Labrador, our Atlantic cod.
And I'm sure it's going to taste just as good as it smells.
Oh, I'm hoping so, and I believe it will.
I got my plate ready.
Oh my gosh, you know what this smells like to me, Raymond, and it always do every time we make it? It smells like you got fish and chips.
Oh,
Like it's got
yeah,
that
yeah.
like dressing and gravy kind of smell to it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Just look. Look how lovely it's on the inside. Now, I would put a whole bunch of more fish in there if I had it. But right now, I don't have it. But it's going to be just as tasty. Oh my gosh, let me just plate it up. So now what I'm doing here now, I'm serving ours with some vegetables, some carrot and some turnip and mashed potato. And I got some leftover gravy here that I'm going to be pouring over it. Now I can slobber this all over the fish and everything, but I don't want to do that. I want to leave the fish loaf on its own. And Raymond, when you have yours, you can just slobber it. But this is just leftover gravy, but you can make a quick gravy or whatever you want to put over it. Now I'm going to have a little taste. Yum. Just going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley over the top there as well, just to garnish it up. And oh my gosh, like I can see you guys going out today and making this, and whatever fish you got in your own or in the freezer is where we dug this one out of.
Just well to say it, I'll say it for you. 2 thumbs up.
So delicious. 2 thumbs up, Raymond, you're right. The flavour is like stuffing. Stuffing in a loaf with that taste of fish and all of those ingredients blend together. Oh my gosh, the perfect meal. I cannot wait for you folks to make it. Yum. I know you're not supposed to talk with your mouth full. And Raymond is over there vibrating. He do have his little plate with a little sample in it, and I know he's just munching back there. Shh. But on that note, we're going to leave the recipe in under this video. I know if you watched the video from the beginning to now, you know what to do. But if you're looking for this recipe, you can go to www.bonitaskitchen.com. Visit us on our Facebook page or right here on YouTube. So we want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by today and spending a little bit of your day with us. On behalf of myself, Raymond, and our team, and from our kitchen to yours, you have a wonderful day. Oh my gosh, Raymond. I think it's going to be a toss-up here today.
I think I'm coming over with that plate.
Oh my gosh. So good.
I gotta admit.
It's good.
This is
so good. I'm so excited that you enjoyed it.
Can't go wrong with a little bit of this stuff.
No, sir.
2 thumbs up.
Join us by the sea, a journey in culinary, always on open door. Bonita's kitchen to yours. Bonita's kitchen.
And don't forget to join us again on Bonita's Kitchen.